Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to pick right up on we did a previous video about changing the electric motor operator inside of a Masterpact NW breaker. This time we're going to look at this is a broken one. We're going to look at replacing a broken manual charging handle. We don't have a motor in this one, so we'll pull the cover off as previously, but we will show you how to get this guy off. So pretty easy, but there's one little spring I really want you to pay close attention to. But let's go ahead and pull that cover off. Again, I've already loosened the screws for you. We'll get that guy out of the way. We can access. And on these videos, this is plastic. Just be a little careful with it. Just don't snatch and grab because you can break it. Now here's our handle. Leave that handle, it's going to stay with the breaker. And for the video, obviously this handle is not broken, but we do have a pile of these if you ever need broken handles. But I want to show you how to take that off in the event you do have a broken one. I strongly recommend that you take the breaker out of the switchgear, out of the cabinet, to be able to access this, because this next move is kind of difficult to do in a cabinet. So what I like to do is stand them up on their side. Just makes access a little bit easier. And then what we're going to do, this side plate, this is a bolt-in breaker, this side plate, 2 bolts hold that on. Real easy to take off. Got one here. And one right here. Just gives you a little more access to the handle and the shaft that it's mounted to. You get both your bolts out. This plate is going to slide down and up. It's got a little notch right there, notch right here where it sits in there. Set that to the side. That's going to give you a little clearer access to the snap ring that holds the handle on. So let's go ahead and address that snap ring. Take your set of snap ring pliers. Might be a little hard to see down in there at first. Alright, let's get our snap ring loosened up. We're going to pull him off. Don't overstretch your snap ring, just in case you don't have a spare. We have spares, but if you don't have a spare, you can reuse this guy. Just take care of him, set him to the side. Now there's a spring I want to show you in just a moment when we get this removed that you have to be aware of when you replace this handle, because if you don't get this spring loaded, it will not charge. It will not work. Alright, you heard the spring pop. I'm going to show you that. First, I want to show you the pin. Can you see this little pin right here? This pin is going to be what you want to load this spring I'm going to show you. There's a little whisker end of it. That end of that spring is actually going to sit right in this notch underneath it. This is the top, this is the front, this is the bottom. It's going to sit right under the bottom of that, and that's going to keep the preload on that spring. Let me show you that spring I'm talking about. When your handle's like this, how it's normally positioned, taking it off, there's a little window right here. In that window, there's a spring. If you can see that guy, there's a spring right there. And that spring, that end of that spring, once you start putting the handle back on, you're going to pop that spring around this shaft, and it's going to sit under it, right where my screwdriver is. That's crucial, because that's going to give you the return pressure you need once the handle's installed. Let's go ahead and get our handle. Set our handle back on, just like it came off. Just setting it in there. The shaft, it's not timed on this, but it will time, the spring will keep it in position. Go ahead and start it in there like that. Just turn it to its normal position. And as you start going on, you'll see that pin through that window I was telling you about. It's real easy. Just taking, right before you push it all the way down, back it up just a little bit where your spring is right above that pin I just showed you. Now load it with your screwdriver and then push it down, and it's behind it. Now that spring, that whisker of that spring, is underneath that collar on that pin. The way I can tell, it has return pressure, so it's going to go back to its normal position. So let's leave that there. We'll go ahead and get us the snap ring pliers. Pretty straight up stuff, but I mean, I know there's been a few times when I first started doing them that I wanted to pull somebody's hair out. All right, start your snap ring on there. Slide it down. You want to feel it click. And you hear that pop. It clicks into the groove on the shaft to retain that plastic handle. Now, we want to take that. Of course, we're going to put our little guy back on here. Real simple 2-bolt setup. The frame is the same. This is a bolt-in, as I said earlier, but they also have a draw-out type that actually inserts into the switch gear, and the fingers will connect to the bus in the cabinet. Draw-outs, excuse me, the bolt-in, they're going to have the side bracket where a draw-out unit will not. So we want to snug those up. Okay, now we're going to slide him back, stand him in his normal position. Now, make sure everything operates. Now we want to hear that click. That click is a little latch inside there, and it's advancing and holding, and then advancing and holding until it completely charges the stored energy spring found in the base of that mechanism. Once it's fully charged, you'll see your yellow flag. It changes state and it says OK, charged. So that means I can close the breaker, and then I can turn and trip the breaker. Pretty good stuff. Pretty common problem, broken handles in the NW frame. If you have any problems with it, give us a call or just hit us up on the email there, or just drop us a link or a line, and we'd love to help you. Thanks so much for your time. Have a good day.